everybody, how are you doing? I want to thank everybody that likes my video, comments down below, or subscribe. Thank you. So I'm sorry, the people are working on the roof next door, and this is like the only time I can film. So you can see my my little bald-headed bun. Let me adjust my crown. Baby girl. So yeah, now they just like, it was quiet before I started, I swear to you, it really was. So we're gonna talk about what made me decide that it was time to move to Vegas, and how did that become. So in August, I realized that I was unhappy living where I was living, and I started really basically working doubles because I didn't want to be at home. It happened in August. It happened mid-August, like after my birthday. And so then I was like, you know what, this is something, I'm gonna share something personal with you. I suffer from anxiety. Like, I really do. It's not something that I think I might have. I know for sure that I have anxiety. The doctors have told me this, that I suffer from anxiety. So I was like, you know what, I don't need any added stress that's gonna cause me to basically have an anxiety attack. So I started talking to my then boyfriend. Not together anymore. That's another story time. But I started talking to him like, I'm unhappy here. He was like, well, maybe we can move in. Like, skirt. I don't even know you like that. We barely just started dating. We've been like 5-6 months in. I'm not about to do that. I'm not just about to move my whole key in with, no, sorry. But even though he was like basically staying at my house, but no. So and I knew that that relationship was not gonna last. I just knew it wasn't. So with that being said, I started talking to my best friend, and I was just like, yes, I'm not happy living here. And I was like, you know, I'm thinking about moving to Lancaster. I started talking to my aunt that lives in Lancaster and my cousins, and I was like, I'm about to move that way. And then I was like, okay, for my job, because I had 2 jobs or whatever, I was like, I'm gonna just commute back and forth to work. And then I was like, by the time I get home in Lancaster, get Jonas from school where he's going at now, we're gonna just be there to sleep. And I was like, that don't make sense unless I have him go to school in Lancaster, have my auntie pick him up and drop him off. Then I still don't really get to see my baby. I was like, you know what, let me start looking at places. Well, before I had Jonas, when I was pregnant, his dad was like, let's move to Vegas. My Uncle Timothy was living in Vegas. And I was like, yeah, but I want my baby to know his grandparents, his uncles, blase. I wanted him to know his family. So I didn't just want to pick him up and he don't know nobody. And that wasn't fair to him. It wasn't fair. It wouldn't be fair. So I was like, no. And I didn't trust my baby daddy like that. If you watched my last story time, he not to be trusted. He not to be trusted. So no. I'm moving out to stay with you. No. So we ended up getting a place together, me and my baby daddy. Stupidly. But we ended up getting somewhere to live together, and I ended up staying there after whatever and keeping up the rent. So I wasn't happy there. Just wasn't happy. I had outgrown the place. Like, sometimes you outgrow things. So I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna go to Vegas. It was just a thought in my head. And then I started talking to my best friend. I'm like, hey, I'm really not happy where I'm living. Like, I'm not happy. So he was like, you know what, move to Vegas. And I was just like, I've been thinking about that. And so I started looking into moving into Vegas, and I had a coworker that I was working with. She had got fired. and she ended up moving to Vegas. And so I was texting her like, how's it going? She was like, girl, security is, because that's what I was doing, security is good out here. She was like, you should come, bring your son. So I was like, you know what, it's definite, I'm moving. So I started telling people like, yeah, I'm moving to Vegas. I'm about to go. December came, I moved back in with my mom. I gave up my place and I started embarking on this journey. I was only supposed to be here until February, but things did not go the way they were supposed to go. But I feel like everything happens for a reason and everything happens in its season. It wasn't meant for me to go then, like, period. It just wasn't meant. I wasn't ready. Now I'm ready. And so yeah, I really wasn't happy where I was at. I wasn't happy around the people I was around. I wasn't happy with the environment I was in. I wasn't happy. I just wasn't. I wasn't. So I'm like, you know what? You have to be accountable, and you have to, why my ponytail feel lopsided? You have to, there we go. You have to basically, you got to be accountable for your happiness. You got to make sure that you happy and you straight. My boyfriend at the time broke up with me because he realized, I guess, that I wasn't about to stay here, and it was a lot going on in our little relationship that when I wasn't happy, he wasn't happy. At one point I was not happy, and so things ended, and now I'm here and I'm going to Vegas. Like, I'm scared, I'm nervous. I'm scared and I'm nervous because, not for the reasons that I'm just picking up and moving to another state. I'm scared and I'm nervous because my son, he has sickle cell. And he has sickle cell, and here in California I have all the support, and I have all the support I can get, and I have a support system here. Like, my support system is here. My mom is here, my brother's here, his girlfriend is here. Our support system is here. So me just packing up and leaving, I don't know anyone in Vegas like that. I don't have any support. I don't have, when Jonas is not feeling good and I'm at my wit's end of being in the hospital, I can call somebody so that we can have support. I don't have that. It's just going to be us two. And I think that's where the being scared comes in at. Knowing that I'm going to have to find him a daycare that is equipped to handle him being sick. That's scary, because it took a long time to find somebody that actually understood. It took 2 people. Went through 2 different daycares, but it was a scary transition, taking him to a daycare and hoping that these people understood that he has a disease, and he's not a normal child. He may look normal. I'm gonna do a video about things that people have said, different pet peeves of mine regarding my son and his condition. Sorry, I'm looking at my neighbor walk into his house. You know, regarding his condition, I have a video coming out about that. But yeah, he can't, and he is not like your typical 5-year-old. He knows that. And he makes people aware. He's smart for his age. At 5, he's very smart. He makes people aware that he has a disease, and he knows about his disease. He knows his triggers. Now, whether he's truthful if he's having a crisis sometimes, no, and I know that. Only sometimes if like there's physical signs of him having a crisis, well, I know, because he doesn't like to go to the hospital. But who does? So he won't tell you. So those are some of the concerns I have. Like, not like missing friends and stuff like that, because I really don't have friends. Like, I went to my cousin's homegoing service, and me and my cousin was talking. His daughter were talking. And I told her, I said, hopefully I make friends in Vegas. And she was like, you will? I was like, girl, I've been living in California all my life, and I've only made 1 or 2 friends. She was like, really? And my mom was like, she barely got them too. Like, I have one friend that I speak to on a daily, and that's my best friend. Like, that's it. So you can probably, yeah, that's it. Like, I'm not very sociable. You think being a Leo, I would be more social, more inclined to meet new people, but I think you have to look at your whole birth chart. You know, my moon sign is in Cancer. So yeah, drop down if you know your moon sign. People only know usually like their sun sign. They don't know their rising, their Venus. Drop down below if you know your moon sign. I like doing people birth chart. Like when I meet people, I'm like, do you know your birth chart? Can I do your birth chart? What else? Jonas is graduating, and I wanted to stay as long as I could so he could graduate with his class. I have to come back to get him and see his graduation. Thank God that my family is actually going to keep him so that he can graduate with his class. Yeah, I guess like the things that I thought I would be scared of, I'm not.